Hey there, well, it's November 30th as I record this, and Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror. We are now in full-blown Christmas season, and that likely means that you are putting up or have already put up Christmas decorations. I read Bob Goff every day, author, pastor, and I share his stuff with you from time to time on these videos. And his message for today, very, very powerful. The way we love difficult people lets everyone know the baby in the manger isn't just a decoration. A lot of us put up nativity scenes, maybe in our homes, maybe outside in front of our homes. But what do they say about us? Are they a reflection? Are they a reflection? Are they a declaration of who we are inside? Does the baby in the manger represent the Jesus living in us? Or is it just a decoration? Goff uses this verse to go with his point. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? That's Matthew 5:46. Goff's point and Jesus' point was, it's easy to love the lovable. Even tax collectors did that. If you love those who love you. And you have to think about what it was to say that even the tax collectors, who were the tax collectors? Well, they were reviled in Jewish culture. At that point, the Jews were being occupied by the Roman government, the Roman army. Their government, their secular government, was not by choice. It was thrusted upon them, as the Roman Empire was in many areas at that time of the world. So the tax collectors collected taxes for the Roman government. They were seen as, and quite frankly, they were traitors to the Jewish people. They collected the taxes that the Roman government took, and they took a lot extra for themselves and got very, very wealthy. So for Jesus to say that about someone who was so reviled, they're no better than them, that was powerful stuff. And then think about how Jesus reflected the baby in the manger, even as a grown man. What did he do? He hung with tax collectors. Matthew. He chose Matthew as an apostle and then had dinner at Matthew's house, and the Pharisees grumbled about it. And then Zacchaeus, who was a bigwig tax collector but a short man, he climbed a tree so that he could better see Jesus as Jesus passed. Jesus shocks him by going to the tree. Zacchaeus, come down from there. I must have dinner at your house tonight. Jesus loved the unlovable, the adulteress, who was to be stoned to death for her act, apparently dragged out of the bed where it was happening, probably half naked. She stayed after the Pharisees dropped their stones and left. She stayed because Jesus was loving her. She was considered among the most unlovable in that society. This can happen big and small. Over the weekend, Ramona and I were out and about, and I'm driving, and at a stop sign, I let the person to my right go. I'm about to go, and the person to the left goes, and if that's not enough, I honk. I didn't, but I honked. And both the passenger and the driver in the car wagging their finger. You know what? And I hung on to that for a little while. It's like, the noive. What's the matter with them? What's the matter with me? I don't know their story. I shouldn't judge their story based on the small chapter I walked in on. I have to let it go. Doesn't mean getting walked all over, and there's a distinction there. But don't hang on to things, and don't reject people because they do things that make them unlovable. Jesus didn't. So, if you have a nativity scene, if you have Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and, of course, the baby Jesus in the manger? Is it a decoration or a declaration? Is it merely a decoration that doesn't reflect who you are inside, doesn't reflect the Jesus inside? It's just another decoration that you put out with the tree and the holly and the lights and everything else? Or is it a declaration? Is it a declaration that Jesus came to earth, a humble baby, lived a humble life, died a brutal death for you and your salvation? And that means more than you can put in words, but you try with an image. That's a declaration. Or is it a decoration? Think about it. When you think you are absolutely right about the election and the other person is absolutely wrong, or about wearing masks or not wearing masks, or about this politician or that politician, or anything. Think about the baby in the manger. Do you have one out? Do you have one inside? That's the question you want to be asking. Is it a decoration or a declaration of who you are? God bless.